thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV, coming to you live on Topstar channel 106 on Kenstream app. We are also streaming live on Facebook, Camnet TV, as well as on our YouTube channel, Camnet TV. Here are the headlines in our news tonight. CHISAMBA solar plant to boost agriculture, mining and regional growth, President HICHILEMA. ERB reduces fuel prices for July as KWACHA strengthens. ZACA urges government to establish state funds and million plans to combat cost of living. In international news, at least 7 killed in Togo, protests over controversial constitutional reforms. And in sports news, WAFCON co-op is a dream come true. Messi, CHIPASULA. To join me with the details shortly after this break.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
With the news in detail, my name is Sylvia Zulu. The Energy Regulation Board, ERB, has reduced the fuel pump prices for the month of July 2025. This follows the appreciation of the KWACHA and the drop in import premiums despite rising international oil prices. ERB Board Chairperson James Banda says the price of petrol has been reduced from 31 kwacha 36 ngwe to 28 kwacha per litre, while diesel now stands at 23 kwacha 13 ngwe per litre, down from 25 kwacha 12 ngwe. The price of kerosene has also dropped to 21 kwacha 98 ngwe from 24 kwacha 79 ngwe, and Jet Air1 is now priced at 23 kwacha 94 ngwe, down from 27 kwacha 18 ngwe. The reductions represent cuts between 7.9% and 11.6%. Mr. Banda explained that although global oil prices increased in June, the kwacha appreciated by 11.20% against the US dollar, moving from 27 kwacha 6 ngwe to 24 kwacha 3 ngwe, which significantly offset the impact of international price hikes. He added that reductions in imports premiums through the Tanzanian bulk procurement system and Tazama open access further contributed to the downward adjustment in prices. The ERB said the positive outcomes from Tazama open access, introduced in April 2025, have begun to stabilize the supply chain and reduce associated costs, especially for diesel. The new prices, which take effect from midnight on 30th June 2025, are expected to ease the cost burden on consumers and businesses across the country. Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa has urged newly graduated teachers to remain focused and begin for their future rather than waiting positively for government employment. He made the remarks during a graduation ceremony for teacher trainees in Mongo. Mr. Akapelwa reaffirmed the government's commitment to supporting teacher recruitment and sustaining the free education policy, which has opened doors for thousands of learners across the country. He encouraged the graduates to take initiative, embrace innovation, and position themselves as contributors to national development. Meanwhile, Chalimbana University Vice Chancellor Professor William Piri applauded the government for enhancing education standards through the provision of free education, the construction of new schools, and ongoing support for teacher training.
A total of 111 students have graduated from Namsheke Skills Training Center in Mongo District during a colorful ceremony. The graduates received a certificate in various business skills, including carpentry and joinery, fashions and designing, technology, tailoring, bricklaying and plastering, and home management and catering. Officiating the occasion, Western Province Permanent Secretary Momo Akapero has called on the graduates to enhance the knowledge acquired.
The manifesto of the United Party for National Development, under the leadership of President HACA and the HICHILEMA, places emphasis on the education of all types, including skills training, as an enabler. And it is now up to the graduates to build upon this. Remember that skills are only valuable if used to benefit yourself and those around you. There is strength in unity. Consider forming cooperatives or working in groups and bid for the many contracts available under CDF and other opportunities such as tailoring of school uniforms, providing catering services to weddings and other gatherings, etc.
Representing Director of Community Development, Changanongoi, Kitwe Community Development College Principal Charles Mumba had this to say.
The graduation we are witnessing today is a milestone in providing efforts towards achieving a nation of professionals and skilled personnel that will apply their knowledge and commitment to fighting poverty. The country needs their services critically for attainment of national development. This is the more reason why government has continued to support community development skill centers and colleges. I urge all members of the public to take advantage of the training opportunities available at our centers, such as the Namshakende Skills Training Center. Remember that your character and commitment will define your success.
Meanwhile, others who spoke are Mungo Mayor Nyambe Mumbana and one of the graduates, Sylvester Mwene, appreciated the skills training offered to them.
Those are skills development papers, and we expect you to start utilizing them by utilizing your skills.
As graduates, we are grateful to the Republic of Zambia for emphasizing the need for the youths and all other people that need it to gain the skills, most especially the life-saving skills.
Musiabo Kabira, Camnet News in the Namshakende area, Mongo District, Western Province.
President Hakainde Hichilema says the newly commissioned 100 megawatt CHISAMBA solar power plant will play a pivotal role in supporting agriculture and the mining sector, while positioning Central Province as a key hub of economic activity. Speaking during the commissioning ceremony, President Hichilema noted that the plant will enable farmers to irrigate their fields year-round, including before the onset of the rainy season, thereby enhancing food production and resilience in the face of climate change. He further highlighted the project's contribution to mining operations, stating that the additional power supply to the national grid would help sustain Zambia's industrial input. President Hichilema also emphasized the need for returning power generated by ZESCO's Kariba North Bank extension within Central Province in order to spur local development and stimulate industrial and commercial activity in the region.
Hey, we are here at this wonderful project, to commission 100 megawatts of solar, walking the path towards 1,000 megawatts of solar, clean energy here in CHISAMBA, not too far from Chibombo MFES. Central Province, you are doing well. We can do better. What does this project mean? This project means jobs. At first, this project means more power, 100 megawatts to the grid. That's what it means. What else does it mean? It means we are now saving ourselves from carbon emissions. When I went into the control center there, I was following the presentation being made, and this project is contributing to basically making our environment greener by basically taking away carbon emissions. And I suggested there that this company, Kariba North Bank Extension, ZESCO, you must now begin to trade in that carbon that we are basically creating value out of from a power station. Additional revenue. Let's not leave money on the table. Let's not leave money on the table.
Mr. President, this occasion is a step forward, and today we are actualization of your directives of delivering the 1,000 megawatts of solar PV projects by December 2025. Mr. President, a journey of 1,000 kilometers begins with one step, and CHISAMBA solar PV is our one step towards 1,000 megawatts.
Energy expert Leonard Sepe says the commissioning of a new solar plant in CHISAMBA is a timely intervention that could play a significant role in stabilizing Zambia's power supply and reviving economic activity. Speaking shortly after the official launch of the plant, Sepe noted that the facility will not only boost the national grid but also serve as a model for clean renewable energy in the region. The CHISAMBA plant is expected to produce up to 100 megahertz of electricity, feeding directly into the national grid and reducing resilience on hydropower, which has been strained by prolonged droughts. Sepe emphasized the broader economic implications, highlighting that improved power supply would directly benefit key sectors such as mining, manufacturing and agriculture, which are critical to Zambia's GDP.
In the face of Zambia's deepening energy crisis, the commissioning of the new plant by the Republican President in CHISAMBA is a welcome move, and it sets as a transformative agenda, because this country, if you look at what we've been going through a lot of rough time when it comes to the energy deficit, which has further led to the persistent load shedding and impacting on industries, household, as well as public services. We have seen these things have been negatively affected. So with the plant that is coming now on board, it's now going to add a much needed boost to the national grid, as well as promising not only the current electricity deficit, but also to provide a more stable foundation for the economic recovery, as well as the economic development for this country. So with the increased power, capacity that we are likely to observe after this, we are going to see that more economic sectors are going to benefit, and this includes mining, agriculture, health, and if you look at all these are key drivers to the economic development of this country. And even the small-scale business individuals have also been affected.
Meanwhile, economist Kelvin Chisanga has welcomed the commissioning of the 100 megawatt solar plant, describing it as a strategic step towards diversifying Zambia's energy mix, particularly in the wake of electricity deficits triggered by prolonged droughts. Mr. Chisanga emphasized the importance of replicating such renewable energy projects in other provinces, noting that a decentralized approach to solar power generation could significantly strengthen the national grid and enhance energy security. He further highlighted the project's potential to positively impact the country's gross domestic product, GDP, by stimulating industrial growth, improving productivity, and attracting investment in energy-dependent sectors. He added that leveraging solar energy not only supports domestic consumption and exports, but also helps lower the cost associated with importing alternative energy, ultimately contributing to the country's broader economic development agenda.
And what we see also coming out from there is that Zambia has been producing power at 85% from water. So having to get this solar or photo or PV sort of arrangement, it brings the energy balance sheet in a proper way, meaning we are growing alternative sources of energy in renewable sources, meaning this now have a very huge combination of what we should be able to see. And this now actually gives more reliable aspect and impact on the industry as well as the sector, meaning what you should be able to see is that it will have a huge multiplier effect which will cascade into disposable income at household level and many other aspects that we should be able to see. So meaning even the GDP profile might be able to work out substantially well from that perspective. So what we see is a good benefit, larger impact that we are going to see in terms of what is being portrayed right on this model. Otherwise, what we need now is to have more of this model. So far as we speak, the CHISAMBA solar plant becomes the largest renewable energy in the country. And this can be a good test that we should be able to see, widening up from that perspective. Meaning what we should be able to see going forward as well is that we can actually work out a model of this nature to even now buff up energy supply in the country so that we can have more export from that perspective. So we are even working out a model of export in the eastern part of Africa, and this presents an opportunity for us to actually look at how best can we work out a model of electricity and obviously lowering the cost on the importation of other energy sources.
The Zambia Consumer Association, ZACA, is urging the government to establish state funds and milling plants in every province as a strategic move to address the high cost of living, growing unemployment, and the rising trend in rural to urban migration. ZACA Executive Director Juba Sakala says this initiative could offer long-term relief to consumers while stimulating economic activity in rural areas. Mr. Sakala explained that the proposed strategy would also help reduce the strain on urban centers by promoting rural development. He added that the success of such an initiative would depend on strong governance and collaboration with local cooperatives.
The calls for inclusive implementation of African Free Trade here to safeguard consumer interests. As Zambia Consumer Association, we welcome Zambia's continuous participation in the African Continental Free Trade Area, a landmark initiative aimed at boosting inter-trade in Africa, industrialization, and sustainable development. As consumers, we recognize the enormous potential African Free Trade Area holds in improving access to a wider range of goods and services, promoting competition and expanding economic opportunities across the continent. However, ZACA also cautions that the benefits of African Free Trade Area will only be fully realized if implementation is inclusive, transparent, and prioritizes the welfare of ordinary Zambians. The advantages of this African Free Trade Area for consumers and the Zambian economy is: one, we're going to have wider choices and competitive prices, meaning that the consumers will benefit from an increased variety of goods and services as trade barriers are removed, potentially lowering the cost of essential commodities. Two, there will be job creation and economic diversification. This will mean promoting industrialization and value addition in African Free Trade Area can also help create decent jobs, especially for youth and women, while reducing reliance on imported goods. Also, opportunities for SMEs. Zambian small and medium enterprises stand to access new markets beyond national borders, improving incomes and livelihoods. There could be challenges here and there, but these threats could be one to the local industry, without adequate support and protection.
The Lusaka City Council has disbursed a total of 11,460 kwacha for Teaming Way and Constituents Development Fund CDF loans to 242 beneficiaries in Matera constituency between 2022 and 2025. The funding is part of an ongoing effort to promote inclusive economic development and uplift livelihoods at the grassroots level. LCC Assistant Public Relations Manager Nyambe Bulumba says the beneficiaries include local entrepreneurs, cooperatives, clubs, and individual businesses. He added that in 2022, the council disbursed 1.9 million KWACHA to 102 cooperatives, followed by over 3.2 million KWACHA awarded to 51 groups in 2023. Meanwhile, in 2025, 39 cooperatives received over 2.9 million KWACHA, while 50 beneficiaries have been supported with 3.5 million KWACHA in 2025. He added that the loans are helping to unlock economic potential within Matero by giving individuals and groups the capital needed to grow businesses, create jobs, and contribute to the local economy.
The Lusaka City Council has paid out 11.4 million KWACHA in Constituents Development Fund CDF loans to beneficiaries in Matero constituents between 2022 and 2025. A total of 242 local entrepreneurs, cooperatives, clubs, and individual businesses have received the support through this initiative aimed at fostering inclusive economic development in the area. This sustained investment shows the government's ongoing commitment to empowering communities by creating economic opportunities, stimulating local enterprise, and improving livelihoods. By supporting grassroots initiatives, the Council seeks to unlock the economic potential of Matero residents and contribute meaningfully to the broader development of the city of Lusaka. The City Council therefore remains committed in its mission to utilize the CDF as a catalyst for progress across all 7 constituencies, ensuring every resident has access to the resources and opportunities they need to thrive.
Western Province Permanent Secretary Simomo Akapelwa has reaffirmed the government's commitment to strengthening agricultural resilience and ensuring national food security through climate-smart farming practices. He was speaking during the official opening of the 2025 Western Province Agriculture and Commercial Show in Mongo. Mr. Akapelwa outlined key government efforts aimed at addressing climate-related agricultural challenges, including enhanced control of pests such as the fall of armyworms and locusts, the promotion of farmer field skills, and the expansion of conservation farming techniques. Speaking at the same event, Western Province Show Society Chairperson Joseph Mungando described the show as a rallying point for collective action against climate change and its impact on the agriculture sector.
Western Province held its agriculture and commercial show where farmers showcased their products and exchanged knowledge. This year, its agriculture show is being celebrated under the theme Adapting to Climate Change. And Western Province Permanent Secretary Momo Akapelwa, who officiated at this year's Agriculture and Commercial Show, reaffirmed the government's commitment to building resilience in agriculture and ensuring food security through climate-smart initiatives.
In recognizing the growing threats to climate change, government has prioritized initiatives aimed at building resilience amongst smallholder farmers. The government is promoting climate-smart agriculture practices and capacity building of both farmers and staff in production of drought-tolerant crops, including vegetable production. May I take this opportunity to invite the business community of Western Province to participate in agriculture by actively supplying agricultural inputs in the 2025-2026 farming season under the e-voucher system.
And Western Province Show Society Chairperson Joseph Mungandi described the show as a corrective action against climate change threats.
Yes, show be a reminder that the future of food security is not about going back to how things were. It is about moving forward boldly and wisely.
Meanwhile, other show-goers, Martin Kararuka, Clement Mtaipi, and the Mungo District Agriculture Coordinator, Christabel Kakombi, added their voice.
So in this theme, we are focusing on agriculture, where we are exhibiting 3 models that we are promoting. The first model is conservation agriculture, which is farming God's way. It's farming God's way because we are encouraging farmers to do their agriculture activity in a way that pleases God. Number 1, by planting on time. 2, follow all the necessary standards. Number 3, no wasting. Number
promote safety and security of children so that they are not abused within our communities. So in short, that's what we are here for.
The farmers need to be in a position to still be productive, still be able to produce food despite these adverse weather patterns that we are facing, despite drought, despite floods, frost, and all these climatic hazards. We must still be able to feed our people. The farmers must still be able to produce food.
Mosiebo Kabira, Camnet News in Mungo District, Western Province.
You're watching the main news on Camnet TV. We now take a break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. In international news, at least 7 people have been killed and numerous others injured in anti-government protests in Togo's capital, Lomé, according to preliminary reports released by civic groups on Sunday. The unrest follows controversial constitutional reforms that critics say are designed to entrench President Faure Gnabi's hold on power. Demonstrations erupted after Parliament approved reforms that restructure the executive branch, effectively allowing President Gnabi, who has ruled since 2005, to restrain significant power without term limits. Here is a roundup of international news.
At least 7 people were killed and many others wounded during recent anti-government protests in the Togolese capital Lomé, according to initial count that civic groups gave journalists on Sunday. The protests were over recent constitutional reforms that could cement President Faure Gnabi's long hold on power. Videos emerged showing apparent abuses by security forces, according to civic groups. Police fired tear gas in several neighborhoods of Lomé and reportedly used batons to beat protesters, severely injuring some, according to footage that appeared to be from the scene. Internet access across the West African nation was also restricted, with social media platforms functioning intermittently. Civil society groups and social media influencers had called for protests on July 26, 27 and 28 after the government's clamped down on protests early this month. Faure Gnabi, who has ruled since 2005 following his father's death, was sworn in May as president of the Council of Ministers. The powerful role has no official term limits and is eligible to be re-elected by Parliament indefinitely. Opposition politicians have denounced the move as a constitutional coup, but the latest change in government structure has been widely criticized in a region threatened by rampant coups and other threats to democracy.
Egypt's Foreign Affairs Minister has condemned Israel's unprovoked attacks on Iran. Badr Abdelati made the remarks at a meeting with his Austrian counterpart in Cairo Saturday. He also spoke of the need to sustain a ceasefire reached between Tel Aviv and Tehran. We also talked about the latest escalation related to Iran's nuclear program, and we condemned the Israeli aggression against the Iranian nuclear facilities. And we're now working on emphasizing the importance of sustaining the current ceasefire, and this requires us to work quickly on resuming the talks between the Iranian and American sides.
العمل بسرعة على استئناف المباحثات بين الجانبين الإيراني والأمريكي.
On June 13th, Israel started bombing Iran's nuclear facilities and assassinated top military figures and scientists. Later, the US also carried out bombing raids. A spokesperson for Iran's judiciary in a post on the agency's official website said that those killed in the attack on Monday included staff, soldiers, prisoners, and members of visiting families. It remains unclear why Israel targeted the prison. The spokesman for the judiciary said 71 people have been martyred so far in the attack by the Zionists on Evin prison. Mr. Jahangir added that in addition to prison officials, the martyrs include conscripts, inmates, and their families. The neighbors of the prison have also suffered a lot of damage. He said, unfortunately, a large number of people have been injured too. Some were treated on site, and others have been hospitalized. The June 23rd attack, the day before the ceasefire between Israel and Iran took hold, hit several prison buildings and prompted concerns from right groups about the safety of the inmates.
17-year-old Zambian football sensation Macy CHIPASULA has made it to the final spot for the Total Energies Women's Africa Cup of Nations 2024, set to take place in 2025. She is thrilled about this achievement. CHIPASULA's rise to fame began at the 2024 COSAFA Under-17 Girls Championship, where she scored 13 goals in 5 games and provided 9 assists. Her impressive performance caught the attention of coach Nora Hapto, who praised her skill and technique. Recently, CHIPASULA made her senior debut for the Copper Queens in a friendly match against Malawi's Source Scorchers, where she assisted a goal despite her team losing 3-2.
Campaign Shemushe. Ishamushe mfungo ngazishe. Jeni ngene shemushe yenze. Pushing. Fungo wina. To get us in group stage. Spending saying very much is the target young ka chago cleanity. Every time go the shit target to chago cleanity. Mutuma mwishe kapeske muskwa jene WAFCON. Tunacha hapo na under 17. So zanga na experience osha na senior because tinatenga 1 2 3 Bina angu wanachokela kwa under 17. So sendo pezana. So tunatenga kwa experience kwa tunachana na udani. Fungo wakapo love and support because tikanisha kuguliza ones of them shemosh. Imeka shemosh was nice tenga kwa experience. Tuba kwa World Cup Morocco. So inipalo anga tenga kwa experience because beti boya kumolo kufuti banda 17 nje tenga ko experience kashone kona wanzanga astendi zo atina boya ku first qualifiers ku Morocco apayanga la number 2 under 17 kwa Morocco tinaona na weather so tubakira ko ndiri kulongo kupya so aziwa tisiwa mutina qualifier ku World Cup Chelsea so sikuzi ya mukuli so sifungo shita disappoint sinabwa ko da kiri supporta and manya posha kutipempele yako sometimes my games yangala sheni game but manza mbewa nation support ye shem kwa mulungu paso goal.
Thank you so much for watching. That's it for our main news tonight. Here's a recap of the stories making headlines. CHISAMBA solar plant to boost agriculture, mining and regional growth, President HICHILEMA. ERB reduces fuel prices for July as KWACHA strengthens. ZACA urges government to establish state farms and milling plants to combat cost of living. In international news, at least 7 killed in Togo protest over controversial constitutional reforms. And in sports news, WAFCON co-op is a dream come true, Macy CHIPASULA. We now look at the Camnet phase for the day, coming from the book of Mark 11, verse 26. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father who is in heaven forgive your trespasses. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Remember, you have been catching us live on Topstar channel 106 on Kinstream app. We are also streaming live on Facebook, Camnet TV, as well as on our YouTube channel, Camnet TV. Thank you so much for watching. Good night and God bless you all.
or the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.